Chosen one, if this message has reached you, understand this clearly. It is not meant for everyone. Only those who walk the divine path, only those whose spirit has been marked by God, will feel the pull to stay. If you are not aligned with truth, you will click away. But if you are chosen, your soul already knows you are meant to hear this right now, at this exact moment, within the next 5 seconds. Nothing here is an accident. You were guided. You were summoned. And the message you are about to receive carries a shift that can redirect the course of your spiritual journey. Before we go deeper, I want you, the true chosen ones, to stand bold in the light and comment one number below as your confirmation. 777 333 999. Choose the one your spirit feels called to and leave it below. Your comment becomes a signal, a mark of alignment, a declaration that you are awake and listening. And if this message resonates already, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon so you never miss what is meant for you, and share this video with another chosen soul who may need this reminder today. Stay with me until the very end. What I am about to reveal will unlock clarity you have been seeking, answers you have prayed for, and strength you didn't realize was waiting to rise within you. This is your moment. Let us begin. The call of the chosen, understanding the urgency. Chosen one, let me speak to you with the clarity of an elder who has walked this path far longer than you have been aware of your own calling. When God sends a message suddenly, when a word reaches you with a sense of urgency, it is never random. It is never casual. It is a divine interruption, a spiritual tap on the shoulder, a reminder that heaven has been watching your steps, listening to your thoughts, and waiting for the right moment to give you the direction you need. And that moment is now. You see, chosen ones often move through life with a strange rhythm. At times, they feel aligned, peaceful, and spiritually connected. At other times, they walk through storms that seem to come from nowhere. You might feel that contrast strongly in your own life. One day you are certain, the next day you are questioning everything. One moment you feel guided, the next moment you feel forgotten. But here is the truth many never hear. You are never forgotten. You are never invisible to the divine. You are simply walking a path that requires sensitivity, a path that demands awareness, a path that calls for discipline of the spirit. This is why God delivers messages with urgency. Chosen ones are not meant to drift. You are not meant to be spiritually idle. When you lose direction, you feel it more intensely than others. When you step out of alignment, you feel the consequences faster. That sensitivity is not a weakness. It is a mark. It is the sign of your calling. God speaks to you differently because you are not ordinary. You are being prepared for something greater than the circumstances you currently see. Think about the moments leading up to this one. Maybe you have been restless. Maybe something heavy has been sitting on your heart. Maybe you've been sensing change without being able to explain it. Or perhaps life has felt unusually quiet, as if everything has paused. When you are chosen, even silence becomes communication. Even delays carry meaning. Even confusion becomes part of the preparation. God uses everything, your emotions, your dreams, your disappointments, your breakthroughs, to direct you. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is accidental. And now, out of all the possible moments in your life, out of thousands of other distractions, you are here listening to these words. That is your confirmation. Something in your spirit recognized this message before your mind could process it. That is the calling of a chosen one. Chosen ones are called during transitional seasons, seasons when something is ending, but the next chapter hasn't fully revealed itself yet. Seasons when you feel detached from old versions of yourself, but not fully rooted in the new. This in-between space is where God speaks the loudest, because it is when you are finally quiet enough to hear Him. It is when you start questioning, searching, and reaching. And that reaching opens the spiritual channel. It makes you receptive. It softens your defenses. It awakens your inner hearing. This is why God comes to you suddenly, urgently, without warning. Not because he is impatient, but because he knows exactly when your heart is open enough to receive. Divine timing does not follow your schedule. It follows your readiness. And you, chosen one, are ready now in a way you weren't even a week ago. Many chosen ones misunderstand urgency. They think something bad is coming. They think the pressure means danger, but no, urgency means alignment. It means God is moving quickly in your life. It means the shift you've been sensing is already unfolding in the spiritual realm, and now it is approaching the physical. You are being pulled back to center, to truth, to clarity. Let me explain why this urgency matters for you specifically. Chosen ones often carry responsibility in the spiritual world that they don't see immediately. Your presence affects rooms, your energy shifts conversations, your words plant seeds, your obedience influences others. That is why God cannot allow you to wander too far before calling you back. He needs you anchored, he needs you strong, he needs you aware. When you drift, heaven notices. When your spirit becomes weary, heaven responds. When you cry silently, heaven hears. And sometimes, chosen ones don't ask for guidance out loud. They ask with their thoughts, with their exhaustion, with their need for direction. God reads all of that. And when he does, he sends a message like this: clear, firm, unmistakable. You may not realize this, but you have recently stepped into a spiritual window, a timing that aligns your purpose with divine intention. That is why things around you may have been shifting, people leaving suddenly, old habits feeling uncomfortable, new desires emerging, a strange inner push to elevate, to grow, to seek God more deeply. These are not random changes, they are signs, indicators that heaven is preparing to place something heavier, something holier, something more powerful on your life. And chosen ones rarely feel ready. Let me tell you this with authority. God does not call the ready, he calls the willing. He does not call the perfect, he calls the aligned. He does not call the confident, he calls the obedient. Your calling is not built on your perfection, it is built on your potential. You may feel confused right now, uncertain or overwhelmed, but that feeling is not failure, it is transition. It is God stretching you, strengthening you, shaping you. You are being molded for a higher purpose. That is why you feel pressure. Pressure is preparation. Pressure is spiritual training. Pressure is proof that heaven is investing in you. Chosen one, understand this well. Urgency from God is love. It means he refuses to let you settle. It means he refuses to let you fall into the traps set for you. It means he refuses to let the enemy distract you from your mission. You were called, marked, and set apart for something that will require a steady spirit and a sharp mind. God is preparing you, and this message is the beginning of that preparation. You are not listening to this by chance. You are being positioned. You are being reminded. You are being awakened again. Now breathe deeply and receive this truth. God is calling you forward because something ahead requires the version of you that is emerging right now. And that is why this message had to reach you today, at this moment, with urgency. The call is active, and now you are aware. If you're ready, we will continue deeper. The next 5 seconds, what God is activating in you now. Chosen one, pause for a moment and become fully aware of your breath, your heartbeat, and the space around you. Because what I am about to reveal is not symbolic, not poetic, not metaphorical. This is a real spiritual transition happening inside you right now. When I say the next 5 seconds matter, I say it with the authority of someone who understands how divine timing moves. God does not operate in hours or days. He operates in moments. And some moments are gateways. Some moments are spiritual portals. Some moments are coded with change. The next 5 seconds of your awareness are one of those moments. You may feel something happening even as you listen. A strange warmth, a shift in your chest, a pull inside your spirit. That is not imagination. That is not emotion. That is activation. When God chooses someone, He marks their spirit long before He reveals their assignment. But activation, the moment when the mark begins to stir, that always comes suddenly. It comes when your inner world becomes quiet enough for heaven to speak clearly. And right now, heaven is speaking. So let me tell you exactly what is being activated in you at this moment. First, your spiritual sensitivity is being heightened. You will begin to notice things you once overlooked. Conversations will carry new meaning. Dreams will become clearer. Your intuition will sharpen. Your discernment will strengthen. You will feel shifts in the atmosphere before they manifest in the physical world. This is a sign that your spiritual receptors are turning on again. You are stepping into a level of awareness that chosen ones need in order to walk out their mission. Second, God is activating your inner strength. Not the loud kind of strength the world praises, but the quiet resilience that cannot be shaken by disappointment, rejection, or uncertainty. The strength that makes you stand firm even when life becomes unpredictable. You may have felt weak recently, worn out, or spiritually drained, but what you thought was weakness was actually the final stretching of an old season. And now that the stretching is done, strength is rising, a strength that will allow you to hold the blessings coming your way, a strength that will allow you to resist temptations and distractions, a strength that will keep you rooted when everything around you shifts. Third, your confidence is being restored, not the kind of confidence that comes from achievements or applause. I am talking about spiritual confidence, the assurance that you are guided, chosen, protected, and directed by something greater than yourself. The type of confidence that makes you walk differently, think differently, speak differently. This confidence is the key that unlocks your ability to make bold decisions, to close old doors, to walk away from anything that drains your spirit, and to step into opportunities that once intimidated you. Confidence is not optional for the chosen. It is required, and God is activating it in you now. Fourth, God is activating clarity. This is important. You've been confused about certain things, your path, your relationships, your purpose, your timing. You've been asking for signs, but receiving silence. You've been trying to understand why certain things happen the way they do. But now, clarity will begin to flow in your spirit like a quiet stream. You will realize why some people had to leave. You will understand why certain doors closed. You will see the bigger picture behind delays, setbacks, and detours. Clarity will remove fear. It will dissolve hesitation. It will help you see what is meant for you and what is not. And once clarity comes, you'll stop wasting time. Fifth, God is activating a new level of spiritual protection. Many chosen ones underestimate how much protection surrounds them. You have survived situations that should have broken you. You have walked through spiritual battles that no one else knows about. You have fought attacks that came when you were vulnerable, discouraged, or exhausted. And yet, you are still standing. That alone is proof of divine protection. But now, a new layer of protection is being activated, one that will shield you from people who don't belong in your next chapter, one that will expose hidden intentions, one that will remove anyone who is not aligned with your destiny. You may soon see relationships shift, masks fall, and truths revealed. Do not fear these changes. They are part of your elevation. Sixth, God is activating your voice. For a long time, you have stayed silent to keep the peace. You've held back your truth to avoid conflict, to avoid being misunderstood, to avoid hurting others. But chosen ones cannot fulfill their mission with a quiet spirit. You are not placed on earth to shrink. You are placed here to speak, to guide, to lead, to influence. Your voice carries authority when you use it with intention. And now God is pushing you to speak boldly, to express your truth, to set boundaries, to stand firm in your identity. This activation will feel uncomfortable at first, but it is necessary. Your voice is a weapon, and God is sharpening it. Seventh, God is activating your purpose. You may not know the full shape of your calling yet, but you feel the pull. You feel the inner pressure to grow, to evolve, to break old patterns, to move differently. Purpose always starts as a feeling before it becomes a direction. And you are in that stage right now, the awakening stage. Soon, opportunities will appear that align with your gifts. Ideas will come to your mind with clarity. You will feel drawn towards certain paths and repelled by others. This is spiritual guidance. Do not ignore it. Purpose will reveal itself through your desires, your discomforts, and your intuition. Eighth, God is activating your spiritual endurance. The journey ahead requires patience, strength, and emotional stability. You cannot carry impatience into your next season. You cannot carry fear into your calling. You cannot carry self-doubt into your blessings. So God is stretching your ability to endure, to remain calm, to stay centered even when things do not make sense. Endurance will allow you to wait without frustration, to trust without proof, to move without hesitation. Ninth, God is activating your spiritual protection against distractions. You will notice that certain temptations, old patterns, and unhealthy cycles no longer appeal to you. Things that once pulled your attention will lose their power. People who once drained your spirit will fade from your life. This is not loss, it is cleansing. A chosen one cannot rise while carrying the weight of things that are no longer meant for them. And lastly, God is activating spiritual alignment. For a long time, your spirit and your environment have been misaligned. You have grown, but your surroundings have not. You have evolved, but your circle has not. You have awakened, but your life structure has not. Now, everything is shifting to match who you are becoming. This alignment will bring peace, stability, direction, and opportunities that flow effortlessly. Chosen one, understand this. The next 5 seconds were not about the number. They were about awareness. The moment you became aware of this message, activation began. And now, your spirit is rising, your path is clearing, and your calling is unfolding. If you are feeling this shift, stay with me. There is much more to reveal. Do you like this personality? The battle you didn't see, why the enemy targeted you. Chosen one, listen closely now. What I'm about to explain will connect many experiences you've carried for years, experiences that confused you, drained you, or made you question your worth. You have been targeted in ways that others around you could not understand. You have faced pressure that felt unfair. You've walked through storms that seemed excessive for one person alone. But hear this with authority. You were not targeted because you are weak. You were targeted because you are chosen, and the enemy always seeks to strike the strongest before they fully discover their strength. There are battles you fought silently that were never simply emotional or physical. They were spiritual. There were days when heaviness fell on you out of nowhere, not because you were doing anything wrong, but because your spirit carries a light that threatens darkness. Chosen ones are born with a frequency, an inner radiance, a spiritual signature that announces their potential long before their mind realizes it. The enemy sees that potential early. He sees your gifts while they're still hidden. He sees your calling before you walk in it. And so he tries to attack you in the places where you are most vulnerable, hoping to discourage you before you become who God created you to be. This is why your childhood may have felt difficult. This is why you were misunderstood by people who should have known you. This is why rejection followed you in seasons where you were only trying to be yourself. These were not coincidences. These were early spiritual strikes. The intention was simple: break your spirit before you grow into your purpose. Chosen one, think about how many times you survived what should have destroyed you. How many times you kept going when everything inside you was tired. How many times you rose even when you didn't have the strength to stand. That resilience is not normal. It is divine. It is the mark of someone heavily targeted because they carry something heavily needed. There were moments when the enemy tried to make you doubt your identity, when he whispered that you were not enough, that you were alone, that you were forgotten. He wanted you to adopt beliefs that would limit you, because if he can cripple your mind, he can delay your destiny. But every time you broke out of those thoughts, every time you pushed through despair, every time you refused to give up, you proved what heaven already knew: you are built differently. Let me explain why the enemy continues to target chosen ones, even when they grow stronger. Chosen ones carry influence. Even if you don't see it yet, your presence changes the atmosphere around you. Your energy affects people. Your words carry weight. Your decisions shift environments. The enemy is not threatened by the masses. He is threatened by individuals who can awaken others, individuals who carry truth, individuals who can lead by example without even trying. That is you. This is why you've experienced betrayal from people you trusted. When the enemy cannot reach you directly, he reaches for people around you. He uses their insecurities, their hidden jealousy, their unhealed wounds, hoping they will discourage you, distract you, or break your spirit. But every time someone left your life, it made room for someone better. Every closed door pushed you closer to alignment. Every heartbreak deepened your wisdom. What was meant to destroy you ended up training you. There were situations you walked into that drained your spirit without explanation, environments that felt heavy, people who made you feel small or unwelcome. That sensitivity was not weakness, it was discernment. God allowed you to feel the weight of those environments so you would know when to walk away. Not everyone is meant to be connected to your calling. Not everyone is meant to hear your dreams. Not everyone can carry the energy you bring. Some people are not spiritually mature enough to stand beside you on your path. That is why God removed them. Chosen one, understand this. The enemy targets you not because of who you are now, but because of who you are becoming. He sees the future impact you will make. He sees the souls you will inspire. He sees the wisdom you will share. He sees the light you will shine. And he tries to attack before you reach the point where you cannot be stopped. But what he fails to understand is this: everything he used to weaken you only strengthened you. Every trap he set only taught you discernment. Every disappointment he caused only sharpened your ability to stand firm. You have grown spiritually without even realizing it. Your battles have built character. Your pain has birthed compassion. Your challenges have sculpted your authority. Chosen ones rise through struggle. They gain wisdom through wounds. They gain strength through storms. You are being shaped, not shattered. Now let me reveal something deeper. The enemy targeted you because you carry spiritual weight. You may not have realized it yet, but you are a breaker of cycles, a destroyer of generational patterns, a carrier of healing. People in your lineage may not have walked the path you are walking now. You are the one chosen to break chains that others accepted. And when someone is chosen to shift an entire bloodline, the spiritual resistance is far stronger. But here you are, breaking through patterns that swallowed the ones before you. This is not a small thing. This is a sign of destiny. Chosen one, your strength intimidates darkness even when you don't feel strong. Your purity disrupts environments even when you feel unworthy. Your presence agitates people whose spirits are misaligned with yours. That is why people sometimes react to you strangely. They feel something in you that mirrors what they haven't healed in themselves. You awaken truths they're afraid to face. You expose intentions without speaking. Your spirit speaks louder than your words. And now, listen carefully. The battles you didn't see, the betrayals, the rejections, the sudden losses, the internal wars, were all attempts to distract you from this very moment of awakening. But the fact that you are here, listening to this message, proves they failed. You are still aligned. You are still protected. You are still guided. Before we go deeper, chosen one, if this message is speaking to your spirit, pause and comment one number below as your confirmation. 777, 333, 999, 666, or 444. You may feel called to a specific one. Trust it. It is part of your alignment. Now let me tell you something that will shift your understanding. The enemy did not target you because you were broken. He targeted you because you were blessed. The attacks you faced were not signs of weakness. They were signs of spiritual importance. If you were not a threat to darkness, you would not have been attacked so intensely. If you were ordinary, the enemy would have ignored you. But he couldn't ignore the spiritual authority hidden inside you. He couldn't ignore the anointing you carry. He couldn't ignore the light in your soul. And now, something powerful is happening in your life. The attacks you faced are losing power. The confusion you felt is clearing. The heaviness is lifting. God is shifting you into a season where the enemy will no longer have access to the places he once infiltrated. This is the beginning of spiritual separation. You are being elevated, protected, and strengthened in ways that will make the next attacks powerless. Your awareness is rising, your discernment is sharpening, your spirit is awakening. And the enemy knows this. That is why he is nervous. That is why he tried to distract you before you reached this moment. But he couldn't stop you. You are stepping into a new chapter, one where the battles you didn't see will no longer hold power over you. One where your strength will speak louder than your wounds. One where your purpose will overshadow your past. Chosen one, the enemy targeted you because you are chosen, but God protected you because you are destined. When you're ready, we will continue deeper. Your divine assignment, what God needs from you now. Chosen one, now that you understand the battles you've walked through and the spiritual pressure that has surrounded your life, it is time to step into something deeper. It is time to speak about your divine assignment, what God needs from you right now in this moment of awakening. Because being chosen is not a title. It is responsibility. It is weight. It is calling. And your calling is beginning to unfold in ways you cannot ignore any longer. Let me speak to you like an old, wise teacher who sees the truth that you may not yet see in yourself. You were not placed on this earth randomly. God designed you with purpose woven into your spirit. You were not born into your family by accident. You were not placed in your environment by coincidence. You have been shaped, stretched, and trained by every experience of your life to prepare you for the mission that is now awakening inside you. Your divine assignment begins with one simple truth. God needs you awake, not half awake, not spiritually drowsy, not drifting between old habits and new visions. He needs you fully conscious of who you are, what you carry, and the impact your presence has. This awakening requires honesty. It requires reflection. It requires releasing anything that keeps your spirit dull or distracted. Chosen ones cannot fulfill their calling while holding on to old versions of themselves. Your second assignment is this. God needs you aligned. Alignment means placing your heart, mind, and actions in the same direction as your purpose. It means no longer entertaining environments that drain you. It means walking away from relationships that dim your light. It means choosing peace over chaos, growth over comfort, and truth over illusion. You cannot rise while staying attached to what God has already released you from. Alignment is not always comfortable, but it is always necessary. The third part of your assignment, God needs you disciplined. Many chosen ones have powerful gifts, but gifts without discipline grow wild and unfocused. You have visions, ideas, dreams, and abilities that can transform your life and influence others, but to activate them fully, you must commit to spiritual discipline. This may mean spending more time in silence, prayer, meditation, or reflection. It may mean protecting your energy more intentionally. Discipline sharpens your spirit like a blade. It helps you hear God clearly. It helps you stay centered when distractions appear. Fourth, God needs you to embrace your uniqueness. This is important. Chosen ones often struggle with feeling out of place, misunderstood, or different. But your uniqueness is not a flaw, it is your assignment. God needs you to stop comparing yourself to others because you were not created to follow the crowd. Your path is carved differently. Your timing is different. Your spirit recognizes things others ignore. Embrace this difference. Walk boldly in it. Your uniqueness is the very thing that will draw others to truth. Fifth, God needs you to be courageous. Your calling will require decisions that may intimidate you. Choosing yourself, choosing growth, choosing your mission will often feel like stepping into the unknown. But chosen ones are guided, not abandoned. When God asks you to move, He has already prepared the path. Courage is the bridge between where you are and where God needs you to be. Without courage, purpose remains dormant. With courage, purpose becomes destiny. Sixth, God needs you to guard your spirit. Not everyone is meant to walk with you. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people are sent to test you, some to distract you, and some to drain you. You must learn to discern who is for you and who is against you. You must protect your peace as if it was sacred, because it is. God cannot pour new blessings into a heart that is crowded with people who carry old energy. Guarding your spirit is part of your assignment. Seventh, God needs you to use your voice. There will come moments where silence is no longer an option. Moments where you must speak truth even if your voice shakes. Moments where you must set boundaries even if others don't understand. Moments where you must express your wisdom, your insight, your divine intuition. Your voice carries spiritual authority when you speak from alignment. It can guide, uplift, correct, and awaken. Your assignment includes speaking when you are called to. Eighth, God needs you to heal. Healing is not a punishment, it is preparation. You cannot step into your divine role with wounds that still bleed. Healing means acknowledging your pain, releasing anger, forgiving where necessary, and allowing God to cleanse your spirit. Many chosen ones carry generational pain, childhood trauma, or emotional scars. These wounds do not disqualify you, they refine you. But healing them makes room for clarity and peace. This healing season is part of your assignment. Ninth, God needs you to trust Him deeply. Trust is the foundation of your mission. There will be moments when the path seems unclear, when you feel alone, or when things shift suddenly. Trust means believing that God sees what you cannot. Trust means surrendering your fears and choosing faith. Trust means walking even when the next step is hidden. The chosen cannot complete their assignment without unwavering trust in the divine. 10th, God needs you to grow. Growth is not optional for the chosen. Growth requires stretching, learning, unlearning, and evolving. It means stepping into new levels of self-awareness, spiritual maturity, emotional intelligence, and personal responsibility. Growth is evidence that you are becoming the version of yourself that your assignment demands. 11th, God needs you to step into leadership, whether in silence or in influence. Some chosen ones lead through example. Some lead through words. Some lead through presence. Some lead through love. But leadership is woven into your destiny. You were not meant to follow forever. You are meant to guide others by simply being who you are. 12th, God needs you to walk with integrity. Integrity protects your calling. It aligns your character with your purpose. It keeps your spirit honest, clean, and clear. Chosen ones cannot walk in deception or manipulation. Your assignment requires truthfulness in your actions, your decisions, your relationships, and your inner world. And lastly, God needs you to step forward. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when circumstances are perfect. Now, the moment your spirit is awakened is the moment your assignment begins. Every step you take from this point forward is part of your destiny unfolding. Chosen one, understand this. Your assignment is not something you stumble into. It is something you grow into. It is shaped by your obedience, your awareness, your courage, and your willingness to walk with God even when the path is unclear. You have everything you need inside you. You are prepared more than you realize. You are capable of far more than you believe. Your assignment is calling, and now you are ready to follow it. When you're ready, chosen one, we will walk into the next revelation. The shift in your destiny. What happens after you hear this? Chosen one, now that you understand your calling and the responsibilities tied to it, I want you to settle your spirit for a moment, because this next part is crucial. Hearing a divine message is one thing, but what happens after you receive it is where the true shift begins. Destiny does not change the moment information arrives. Destiny changes the moment you allow truth to settle into your spirit. And as you listen now, a shift is already unfolding inside you, whether you realize it or not. Let me speak to you like the elder teacher you trust, the one who sees beyond your present moment. Every chosen one reaches a point in their life where the journey turns, a point where old patterns can no longer survive, a point where the soul refuses to remain small, a point where divine timing intersects with spiritual readiness. You have reached that point, and because you have reached it, everything around you is beginning to shift. The first shift that occurs is internal alignment. You will notice your thoughts beginning to rise to a higher frequency. Ideas that once confused you will become clear. Doubts that once held you back will lose their grip. You will feel more aware of who you are and what you are becoming. This inner alignment is the foundation. When your inner world changes, your outer world must eventually follow. It is spiritual law. The greatest revolutions begin within. The second shift is spiritual clarity. You will begin to see people, environments, and situations for what they truly are, not what they pretend to be. Your discernment will strengthen, revealing motives and intentions you once ignored or misunderstood. You will notice who brings peace to your life and who brings confusion. Clarity is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. Without it, you cannot walk confidently toward your destiny. With clarity, you stop chasing things that are not meant for you. You stop entertaining what drains you. You stop settling for what insults your spirit. The third shift is energetic protection. This is important. After hearing a message like this, your spiritual frequency rises. When your frequency rises, certain energies can no longer reach you. Old attacks lose their power, hidden enemies become exposed. Manipulations that once worked on you fall flat. You will feel guided away from danger and toward alignment. You may notice sudden endings, friendships fading, communication slowing, connections breaking. These are not losses, these are protections. God removes what threatens the next chapter of your life. The fourth shift is emotional liberation. You will begin to release emotions that have been stuck inside you. Pain you held silently, disappointment you carried quietly, anger that never had a voice, sadness that weighed you down. These emotions don't leave all at once. They leave gradually, gently, like layers being peeled away. Every release makes room for something new, a lighter heart, a clearer mind, a stronger spirit. The chosen cannot rise while carrying the burdens of the past. Emotional liberation is part of your ascension. The fifth shift is divine redirection. Doors that once opened easily may now close. Paths you once believed were yours may now feel blocked. New opportunities may appear suddenly. People who were once distant may reappear with purpose, while others may fade out completely. This redirection is not random. God is aligning you with places where your gifts will be used, where your spirit will grow, and where your destiny will flourish. You are being moved out of environments that limit you and into environments that elevate you. The sixth shift is identity strengthening. For the first time in a long time, you will begin to feel like yourself, but a higher, wiser, more grounded version. You will stop questioning whether you are good enough. You will stop doubting your worth. You will stop apologizing for your strength or your voice. Instead, you will walk with quiet authority, confident, steady, aware of the light you carry. This identity shift is powerful. It is the moment when you stop seeing yourself through the lens of your wounds and begin seeing yourself through the lens of your purpose. The seventh shift is spiritual acceleration. Things will begin to move faster for you. Ideas, opportunities, understanding, healing, breakthroughs. When a chosen one aligns with divine truth, their life often speeds up. Doors open sooner, blessings flow easier, steps become clearer. You may notice synchronicities, signs, repeated numbers, dreams that feel significant. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations, signs that the spiritual world is supporting your forward movement. The eighth shift is relationship transformation. The chosen cannot reach their destiny while surrounded by the wrong energy. Some relationships will strengthen because they are aligned. Others will weaken because they are not. You will notice who respects your growth and who feels threatened by it, who celebrates your awakening and who becomes distant. Pay attention. People's reactions to your spiritual elevation reveal their role in your life. Let those who walk away leave. Let those who align stay. Destiny requires the right people around you. The ninth shift is purpose activation. You may begin feeling drawn towards certain actions, creating something, learning something new, helping others, speaking more, stepping into leadership, or walking a path you once feared. Purpose reveals itself through inner pull, through spiritual nudges, through sudden clarity. You may feel an urge to change your lifestyle, routines, habits, or environment. This urge is divine. It is the unfolding of your assignment. Purpose always whispers before it speaks, and right now, it is whispering to you. The 10th shift is spiritual authority. This is something the chosen often underestimate. You carry a presence, a weight, an aura that people feel without understanding. And when you awaken, that authority becomes stronger. You will walk into rooms differently. You will speak differently. You will make decisions differently. Your presence will command respect, not through force, but through alignment. People will sense something different in you: calm, clarity, confidence. Your spiritual authority is the natural outcome of your awakening. Finally, the most profound shift is destiny unfolding. After hearing a message like this, life does not return to normal. The old chapter ends quietly, and a new one begins with intention. The confusion you once carried will be replaced with direction. The fear you once held will be replaced with courage. The heaviness you once felt will be replaced with peace. The chosen step into destiny gradually, not instantly, through consistent awareness, obedience, and alignment. And you, chosen one, are now stepping into that process. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust me as your spiritual guide. The shift has already begun. You are no longer who you were before hearing this. Something inside you has awakened. Something inside you has strengthened. Something inside you has aligned. Chosen one, your destiny is no longer waiting for you. It is unfolding in front of you. If you're ready, we will move into the final revelation. Final revelation. Why God led you here today. Chosen one, breathe deeply for a moment and let your spirit settle. You've traveled through layers of truth, healing, awareness, and awakening in this message. And now we arrive at the revelation you were meant to receive. The reason this message found you today, at this exact moment, and not a second earlier. What you're feeling right now is more than curiosity. It's more than interest. It's recognition. Your spirit recognizes truth when it hears it, and that is why you are still here. Understand this clearly. God led you here because you reached a spiritual threshold, a point where who you were could no longer carry who you are becoming. You were standing between two versions of yourself, the one shaped by old pain and the one rising into divine purpose. Most people ignore that transition. Most people silence the inner pull, but you didn't. Something inside you refused to stay asleep, refused to stay small, refused to keep walking in circles. That refusal is what opened the door for God to speak to you today. Another reason God led you here. You needed confirmation. You've been seeing signs, feeling shifts, sensing change, but you didn't know whether it was real or imagined. You didn't know if you were overthinking or awakening. This message is your confirmation. You are awakening. You are shifting. You are being spiritually elevated and divinely guided. Nothing you've been sensing has been a coincidence. Everything has been preparation. Chosen one, God brought you here because you've been carrying questions. Silent questions. Questions you didn't voice to anyone. Questions about your purpose, your path, your relationships, your battles, your timing. Questions that kept returning no matter how much you tried to ignore them. God heard those questions. Not the ones you spoke out loud, the ones you whispered in your heart when no one was around. And this message is His response. He led you here because you're entering a new season. A season that requires clarity, a season that requires courage, a season that requires awareness. The wisdom in this message will help you walk into that season with strength instead of confusion, with direction instead of doubt, with faith instead of fear. God did not want you stepping into this next chapter blindly, so He brought you where your spirit could hear truth clearly. He also led you here because you've been carrying weight, spiritual, emotional, mental weight that you were never meant to carry alone. You've been holding on to responsibilities, expectations, and pain that have been draining your energy. You've been trying to stay strong while your spirit has been quietly asking for support. God needed you to receive a reminder. You are not alone, and you were never expected to carry everything by yourself. This message is your reassurance that heaven has been supporting you even when you felt abandoned. Another reason God led you here is because the enemy has been trying to distract you. You may not realize it, but lately you've been surrounded by spiritual noise, confusion, doubt, emotional storms, sudden challenges, inner conflict. These distractions were attempts to pull you off your path, but instead of breaking, you searched. Instead of collapsing, you reached. Instead of giving up, you stayed open. That openness allowed God to intervene. That is why this message found you now, because you needed a spiritual reset, a realignment, a reminder of your identity. Chosen one, God brought you here to remind you of your value. You've given so much of yourself to others, your time, your heart, your energy, your wisdom. And often, those around you didn't understand the depth of what you offered. They didn't value your presence the way heaven values it. You've been overlooked and underestimated. But God has not overlooked you. He has seen every act of kindness, every quiet sacrifice, every moment of growth, every prayer, every tear. And now, He's lifting you up. He also led you here because your purpose is calling louder than before. You may feel uncertain about what your mission is, but it's unfolding. And God needed to awaken your awareness so that when opportunities appear, you will recognize them instead of doubting yourself. He needed you to be spiritually alert, emotionally stable, and mentally ready. Another reason God brought you here, to separate you from what is no longer meant for your spirit. You've outgrown certain energies, people, and environments, but you may have still been holding on to them out of habit, guilt, fear, or comfort. God needed to remind you that elevation requires release. Not everyone can go where you are going. Not everything can follow you into your next chapter. This message marks the beginning of your spiritual separation. God also led you here because your faith needed strengthening. You've been walking through uncertainty, waiting for answers, hoping for signs. You've been patient through delays and persistent through challenges. And even though you didn't realize it, your faith was being tested, not to break you, but to prepare you. Now your faith is rising again. You feel it. The heaviness is lifting. The confusion is clearing. Hope is returning. And finally, chosen one, God led you here because it is time. Time to step into your identity fully. Time to stop doubting your calling. Time to trust your intuition. Time to heal the wounds you've carried for too long. Time to accept the elevation that is unfolding. Time to understand that your life has purpose far beyond what you've imagined. This message is not entertainment, it is instruction. It is alignment. It is divine timing. You didn't find it. You were guided to it. Chosen one, the revelation is simple. God led you here today because you are ready. Ready for clarity, ready for healing, ready for purpose, ready for transformation, ready for the next chapter of your destiny. When your spirit is ready, we will move to the conclusion. Conclusion. Walk forward with divine courage. Chosen one, as we reach the end of this message, I want you to take one final deep breath and feel the strength rising within you. Everything you have heard today was not random, not accidental, not coincidental. It was orchestrated. You were guided to this moment because your spirit is ready for elevation, ready for clarity, ready for alignment, ready for the path that God has been preparing for you long before you even realized it existed. From this moment forward, walk with courage. Not the loud kind, but the steady, unshakable courage that comes from knowing you are chosen, protected, and spiritually supported. You do not walk alone. Every step you take is witnessed. Every prayer you speak is heard. Every challenge you face is shaping the version of you that your destiny requires. Remember the signs, the confirmations, the clarity that stirred inside you throughout this message. That was your spirit awakening. That was truth sinking into your soul. Carry that awareness with you. Let it guide your decisions, your relationships, your boundaries, and your purpose. Chosen one, if this message has spoken to your heart, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss the guidance meant for your spirit. Share this message with another chosen soul who may need the reminder today. Let your light extend beyond you. And now, walk forward. Not in fear, not in doubt, but in divine confidence. Your next chapter is unfolding, and you are ready, truly ready, to step into the destiny that has been waiting for you. You are chosen, you are guided, you are rising.